Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spy Money. We have Fish on the other line, and he's showing his screen right now. A lot of people on our Discord have asked Fish, how do you become a baller? And Fish has become a baller. He has went from options and not doing very well to going into the futures, and I begged him for 2 years to do futures. He finally started doing it about 6 months ago, and his thing, we call him the one contract bandit. And the reason we call him one contract bandit is because he goes in with one contract. He steals the show before they even know he's there. So whenever he goes in, he grabs his money, he's gone before they even do anything. So we're going to welcome Fish. Fish, what kind of money have you made?
Um, Here lately, I've been making. My goal has been to go for 1,000 a day. Um,
Good goal.
yes, I started actually earlier from, and I spoke to Brad about this, of being, starting out 200, 250, 300 a day. And then once I was, consistently making that, I went ahead and increased my goal up to 1,000 a day. So 1,000 was not my first thing to, try to swing for the fence. I try to keep it more reasonable, for the two to $300 a day.
And it's kind of funny how I remember your goal being $300 a day, and I told you to trade micros until you got comfortable, and when you did, then you increased it. And then all of a sudden you went from 300 to 1,000 like overnight. And you thought to yourself, if I can make 1,000 a day, it's 250,000 a year, roughly, that I can make,
Mhm.
or you can make. And that was like your dream. And now tell us where you are.
Yeah, now I'm up to, I mean, my goal is still to make 1,000 a day. But yeah, the last couple of weeks I've been trading very well, sticking to my strategy, sticking to the rules, and I've been getting anywhere between four and $7,000 a day.
A lot more than your
A
thousand
lot more than a
dollars.
thousand.
Now, when you did that, did you increase your contracts to like 5 or 10 or whatever to do that?
No, no, I still stick to my one contract.
One contract bandit.
Yep, I stick to that. But I don't have the nerve yet to up it to two or three. But
Well, if you can make 5 or 6 thousand dollars a day on one contract, why do you need to do two or three?
yeah, exactly. That's the way that I look at it. A lot less stress just doing one for me.
So what spy money products are you using to do this?
As you can see on the screen, I have mover, which is this line here.
The green and red line.
Yes,
And the mover is
and
basically just a moving average.
yes, that's correct.
And it's got alerts, visual and audio alerts that you can put on. And I think you have your alerts turned on, right?
Yes, and it actually should be getting ready to signal if it drops below the mover right here. Um, Here in just a second. But also, there you go. I hope you heard it.
Yeah.
I also have Ranger on here that is very, very helpful. Gives me a lot of knowledge on where my zones are at, where the stock or where the indicator would be moving to.
So the way that Ranger works is an open range breakout strategy that has zones, fibs, it has different levels. So really what you're doing is you're using the mover for direction and you're using Ranger for profit targets.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
as far as being your different levels. So we can see on your chart right now, you're using on NQ, you have a 1 minute
Mhm.
chart. Is that mainly what you use is the 1 minute?
Yes, that is mainly what I use. All 1 minute.
So when
I,
when you're making
to,
this, go ahead.
I will sometimes, when it gets slow of the evenings, you know, after six, I will take and maybe go down to, 50, a 100 tick.
Yeah.
But during the normal hours, I normally keep it on 1 minute.
So your profits that you're making, 1,000 to $7,000. I mean, you're here lately. You've been averaging probably around 3 grand a day on average.
Yes. On
So
average, yes.
when you do that, when are you mainly trading? What time of day?
Um, I try to stay away from the open. that's just something that you can get, your stops taken out so quickly.
Right. It's hard to trade the say 9:30 to 9:45 or so. It's hard.
Yes. I try to, and sometimes on that, if I do trade that, I will actually do that into a simulation account. Um, just because I don't want to take the risk of my real money. But
Yeah.
normally at 10 o'clock is when I try to start trading, back to my live account and trying to get into a group to read, my zones in between Ranger. Also for my opening, gives me my opening range. Yeah,
You broke up on us, Fish.
yeah. I try to do trade at 10 o'clock when I go live,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Now,
and it gives me
do
my
you trade
opening range.
pre-market?
Yes, I do trade pre-market. Normally up to about 9 o'clock.
So, and you usually start what, maybe 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, or
Yeah, normally around 7.
about 7?
Hmm.
And then at that time, you just kind of look and see how the market's moving, and if it looks like it's not going sideways to where you can scout between the zones and stuff, you're happy to do it.
Yes.
Now, in that morning time, are you usually on a tick chart or are you on a minute chart then?
No, normally at that time I am on a tick chart.
Okay, so anywhere, depending on how the market moves, you're say 50 to 200, somewhere through there, depending on the movement.
Yes. Yeah, probably from, 6 p.m., all the way through till about 9 o'clock the next morning. Yeah, it's normally 50 a tick.
Okay, so usually 50 or so. And and then when it gets close to 9 o'clock or so, or say just before open, because you might trade at 9:15 or something, but for the most part, when it gets real close to that 9:30 open Eastern time, you just kind of sit back and wait.
Yes, that's exactly.
And then, do you have like a time that you like to come back? And I know you watch it during that, but do you have a time that you kind of in your mind that you want to start trading again, or do you just kind of wait for the volatility to settle down?
Normally I try to wait until right close to 10.
Okay.
Um, Try not to go, do any more trading until 10 o'clock. And that gives me my range time enough to settle in.
Yeah. And the 10 o'clock is a rotation period anyway. So usually at 10 o'clock, the market will decide when it's going to, which direction it's actually going to take. So you can usually watch it till then and do that. So
Hmm.
around 10 o'clock, you're on the 1 minute chart at that time. And, are you just kind of wait for maybe a different zone or something like that? If we take this chart now and we move it back to when you would be trading. So let's just go back to around 10 o'clock. And this is me moving his screen. All right, so here we are. This is the 10 o'clock right here. So what would you be looking at this point?
Okay, as you can see, here's our range, these two levels. This is our mid. As you can see, when we come in right around the opening here, we come up, we hit our mid, when all this is making this at this time.
Well, that's
Just
already done at that time. So we would,
yes,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
it said it right here.
correct. Yeah, but all this time I am still looking. I'm
Right.
not in it yet. Yeah. So right around 10 o'clock, I've established that this area, and you got the resistance here. It pushes it back down. Then after that, it opens up a little bit more, but you still have that same support level right around this area. So as
So
you
you're
can see,
looking at that zone for the support.
yes, that is correct. This area in here. So normally what I would do is I would go in, and then once it pushes above this level of your zones, then I would go in and I'll go ahead and put a limit order to buy in. And now I know that right here on this mover, it is showing the opposite direction. At that point, I didn't pay that much attention to it, but I am going off of this bounce.
Right. Until it breaks out of that, you're playing that channel.
That is correct. Yes,
So
I'm just in
this
between these two.
this morning, did you take that short or that long? Was you in any of that?
Yes, I was in this long. I did not trade this short.
Okay.
This is right here's 10 o'clock. I was not for certain if it's going to continue running, with this little breakout right here,
Mm-hmm.
or if it continue, if it was going to reverse. So I decided to wait out on this. But yes, I did take this trade.
And I think that was smart what you did, just waiting just for confirmation of how you wanted to play.
Yes. And I mean, I know that it does go against, what the mover was showing, but going by, the zones and stuff, I decided to go ahead and jump in. And I had my sell, right at the next level.
So
I
you
didn't wait.
actually put your sale at that zone. You don't put it above it.
Well, no, I did push it above it, but I brought my stop loss up to it.
So when you
Uh,
entered, where would you have entered, or where did you enter? We'll say it that way.
I
About
entered right here.
so like you trying to get right across the top of that zone.
Yes.
Okay, and then when you get in, where do you put your stop?
Um, and you can see over here, I have one labeled just mine. It's a little bit deeper than I know what we have.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you
as
always
far as
put your profit and your stop further than what you normally would, and then
exactly.
you move them.
Yes. Um, so that was something that I done because a couple of trades I was getting in, it was a little tight, and any of this pullback up just a little bit.
So,
So,
do you care to share what your ATM strategy is as far as your stop
oh,
and profit, like your initial?
now right.
Just click at it. So you're using an 80 stop, which is 20 points, and you're using a 200 profit, which is what is that? That's 50 points. So you're using an 8200, but that's not what your target is. That's just something to get on the chart.
Yes, that's just something to me get on the page. Neither
Okay.
one of those will stay at those levels.
Right. So when you enter your trade, where would you
Mhm.
put your stop on that trade as soon as it enters?
When I did that, right down here would be my
You
my
put it at the
stop.
bottom of your zone. And
Yes.
would you move that first, or would you move your profit first?
Well, normally on this right here, according to my strategy, that would drop me below that.
Right, but when you first enter that trade, would you move your profit target first or your stop first?
I will move my profit first.
Okay, so what do you do with your profit at this point when you enter the trade?
I'll take it all the way to the top of the screen.
Okay, so you put it way up there just in case you get a big old spike, it takes off on you and
Exactly.
goes.
Yeah,
And then I mean, that's instantaneous. I mean, it's within a half a second. You've got that moved up there,
that is
and
correct. Yeah,
and
I
then
want to limit my profit.
you'll take your stop and bring it up
Yeah,
to the bottom of the zone.
I will normally bring that up to on that area right here.
Okay, so let me show something here.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh, so just so people can get a visual of what we're talking about here. I don't know why it's not moving. Right there. All right, so this one, when you enter, you would enter right here, roughly, right above that zone there. And then your stop, you would move it to the bottom here. And
Mm-hmm.
then your profit target, you would just throw it up to the top of the chart. Just to get it out of the way. You don't even have a specific place. You're just getting it up there out of the way.
Yeah, I just want it to be far enough away to where if we get a good bounce, I get a strong candle. That's just more money I make.
So right here, your stop would be a
Yep.
$300, which is 15
Mm-hmm.
points roughly. And
Right.
and then your profit, if it would just take off and go, actually, let me do it again. Your profit, if for some reason it would just spike up and take off and hit that, would be $2,200, which it never does. You always move
Correct.
your. So what you do is you just keep moving your stop up, and you use your stop for your profit target more so than this up here.
Absolutely.
Because if it starts getting up here, you take that and move it up further, don't you?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so when this enters here, I want you to grab a hold of um, this stop here. I'm gonna pull it down a little bit. I want you to grab a hold of this, and I want you to just like hold this and kind of move it and talk us through how you would trade this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The after the trade gets going, um, at that point, we had the spike here. I would have probably on the original, just because I went ahead and went to the zone, I probably would have waited. And the reason that I say that, and I keep my stop movable all the time. I never release it.
It's always
But
in your hand.
it's always in my hand. Yes. Yeah. I'm never, just moving around like this. I've always got that stop with me. But to give you an explanation of why, I did not, because normally I trade, this zone. But knowing that we spiked up above it, and if you look back here, I felt that it was going to continue to push. So
And
I
we
did not.
on that one right there, we actually had a higher low.
Correct. So I did not, normally right there would have been a sell for me.
Because as soon as it spiked up inside of the red zone, then you would have had your stop up there just to protect that profit.
That's correct. But on that one, I did not. But as you can see, that area is $465.
Which is a very good scalp. I mean, that's more than a lot of people's daily goal. Your original daily goal was $300, so you could have
That's
taken
correct.
this trade and been
Yes.
done.
Yes. And originally, I would have and been happy, happy with it. But for this one, again, just because of this area above,
You're making
um,
higher highs and higher lows.
exactly. I went ahead and just kept it. It comes down on me, and then when it goes and push through that area right in between where it turns, red to green, is where I put my stop at.
So you would have
And
stopped out on that candle right there.
that is correct.
Okay. So
Yeah, when it's
show us the profit of what that was. Just drag it one from the top down. It don't matter. That's fine. So it's $600, profit there. $625. Give or take some slippage, call it $600. That's what your profit would have been.
exactly
That's 2 days trading in original
that.
trading.
Absolutely.
So what would you be doing here? I know that you've really exceeded your goals, and I'm not really sure where your goals are now. I know you kind of still want to make $1,000, but in your mind, you still want to keep on going. You made what, $7,000 or so, almost 7,000 yesterday or day before yesterday?
Yesterday, yes.
Yesterday. So now in your head, if you're like me, which you are, you're always looking, well, I'd like to be able to make 8, and then I'd like to make 10, and then before you know it, that $1,000 is long gone. And you're always like me. I want to always make $1,000 a day. If I can make $1,000 a day, that's 250,000 a year. I always
Absolutely.
exceed that goal. I mean, very seldom do I not make money in a day. But on yours, you're still on a tighter margin. It takes a lot of trades to make $6,000 or $7,000 on one contract. But if you look at this, if you had 10 of these trades a day with no stop outs, you would hit $6,000 a day, just 10 trades. So
Correct.
walk us through what you're looking for next. What would you be doing?
Okay. Actually, on this trade, what I was looking at, um, was this right here, because this kind of threw me for a little bit, because I was still expecting this move, but with this candle pulling back, I was unsure at that moment. So at that moment, I did not get any of this, which it didn't come back down, to hit my buy level again down here. So I waited. I did see on this candle it pushed on up. I waited until this area to get back in again.
So you waited on this wick right here when it went up
Mm-hmm.
and then it closed here. you put your buy order in here to catch it if it would go up.
Yes. Yeah. It was actually I bought on this candle, not this one.
And then your stop again was at the bottom of the red.
Yes. Yeah.
And
That
then you
stop moved.
and then you threw your profit target way up at the top of the chart. I lost you.
Yes. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, the profit would just been off the page.
Okay. You kind of keep going in and out on me.
Okay.
I don't know if it's your microphone far away or what. There it
Not for
is.
sure. Okay.
So
The
you would have thrown your profit target way up at the top, and your stop would be at the bottom of the zone down there. And then walk us through to your profit.
Okay. Yeah, I entered on this candle, right here, right in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, looking at what this was before, and even, looking back to see this area for our open range, I'm pretty confident that I was at least going to get, to this,
Okay.
to the bottom of the zone. I knew that at that point, I was willing to risk a little bit more just because of the push through and where the opening range come from.
Mm-hmm.
On
And you're green for the day.
yes, I'm already green for the day, so I got a little bit more risk on me. At this point, when this candle hits hard, it blew through mine. So at that point, I just went ahead and brought my stop up to the bottom at this, just like what I initially did, taking my first two trades.
Right.
So right here is my stop now. And at that point, I'm trying to grab my profit and throw it on up the screen.
Okay.
Um,
So
at that point,
just so people can see this, if you come
oh,
over here and we drag this down, you can see that. Actually, bring this up a little more. Right here. You can see that just coincidentally we threw that at the bottom of the zone. So we always want to be, if you open this up, you just throw it up even more. That in case it blows through, you've got more profit, right?
absolutely, yes.
Okay. So on this one, we had a profit of because you stopped out right here, right?
No, I did not.
Okay. So let's walk you through that.
Okay, let me grab my other line over here.
You can move chart over.
Okay. Yeah, on this, brought it up. Let's see, to the bottom, and as soon as it, broke through the next, I went ahead and brought it up to the top.
Okay.
So I just to the next level, and then right here is, well, actually, yeah, right here is where I actually got stopped out.
So once that pushed up on that green candle,
Yes.
it may have been stopped out on that candle, but definitely by the second candle, the red one.
Yes.
One of those two it stopped you out on.
Mhm.
So if we bring this over, oops, let's move that back over here. That's what we get for two people being on the same screen.
Yeah.
So let's just say it's that red one because that's probably where it would have stopped out. So there's a
Mhm.
15, or I'm sorry, this one would have been an entry on right there. So you've got, let's take this one off. So we've got two trades this morning so far. You've got
Mhm.
a $600 trade and just a little over 700. So you got, call it $1,350 or so, ballparking, and that's being
Mhm.
conservative. So you made
Right.
two trades this morning. Your first trade was about 10:08, and your exit on the second trade was about 10:18. So you're looking about 10 minutes. You made, almost $1,500 in two trades, one contract, $1,000 a trade. That's all you had to have in your account to make this trade, plus your drawdown. So today, if you would have had probably 1,300 in your account, you could have made that $1,500 using your strategy.
Mhm.
So at this point, you're feeling really good about yourself. You're up $1,500. You had no stop outs. You're using your stop for your profit target, not actually you're not trading zone to zone per se, but you are. You're allowing it to push through to possibly go to another zone, but you're really just basing it off of coming off of this green, and then you're really hoping just to get to here. That's your goal, right? So, and if it pushes up like this one, then you will decide if you want to move your stop to here or to here. And then let's just say this has kept on pushing at, let's say you didn't get stop out here and this pushed up. Would you keep your stop here, or would you bring it up through here somewhere? What would you do?
Yeah, at that point, this push up, had I still been in the trade, this candle, as this candle moved, well,
It's hard to grab it sometimes.
yeah,
There you go.
as it moved, I would have just been chasing it straight up.
So
And then,
your stop would have been in your hand, just waiting to click. Would you click
yeah,
it at any part in this area?
in the event that it would have kept going, I would have probably went halfway.
Okay. So at that
And then,
point on that green candle, you would have actually went ahead and pushed it halfway up, and then hoping that it would keep pushing up. But if it didn't, you would at least you'd protect that profit from the green zone to the yellow line. You there?
yes, I said absolutely.
Okay. So at this point, what would you do in your next trade? How would you handle this? I mean, you're looking at a higher high. Would you be entertaining that short right there? I mean, you can't tell that it's going to be there, so
Right. I would have entertained it, especially when this changed, but I did not enter any of this short.
okay.
I did not enter any of that. I regretted it, but I didn't.
But why didn't
Uh,
you? What hesitated you?
for one, I was actually at that moment, I was a little long biased
Okay.
just because we had dropped so much of the night. And then with those two little pops, I was expecting, just a small pullback and then maybe for it to run a little bit more. So I got out on that short.
So the trend is your friend. You actually entertain that.
Exactly. Yes.
That's good advice. That's very good advice. So let's go ahead and bring this on over. And let's take this one here, and we'll bring this down here so you can use that. Um, what would you have done through here? Give us a couple more trades of where people can really see, what you're doing. I mean, I think you're very clear about what you want to do, but let's just do a couple more trades.
Well, I did that after this. That was a pretty good pullback right here. Uh, so it didn't come down, and touch. It stopped short, of the range. Then when it made this pullback, I went ahead and hopped in a short here.
Why there and not the candle before?
Because I wanted to play between the zones again. This had definitely not turned red to show me a good short
Right.
because that hit until after this candle closed. But so yeah, I was a little fearful that this was going to do another pop. But yeah, I went ahead and set a short right here.
Okay, because that would, if it broke that zone, more than likely it's going to keep on going because we have our higher high here, but when we
Mm-hmm.
come down, we've now got a lower low here, these two
Yes,
here, and then when this popped up here and made a lower high, I'm actually shocked that you didn't take a short here, which what you could have made a little bit, but not the full amount. But
correct.
you waited because sometimes it will do a little pullback like that, and once it went up and never broke through to going up here, at that point, at what point did you have your limit right here for a short? Where was that at on the candles?
Um, after this, after this broke back down and come through on this, at that point I went ahead and decided I was just going to go short.
Okay, because everything actually is looking short at that time.
Yes, yeah, because I mean there was a hard resistance here, to keep it from going long again.
Hmm.
So I just went ahead and put my buy in right there.
And then once you entered, you put your stop above the green and your profit way down.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Right there. My stop. And then
So how did you take profit down at the bottom? How did you exit this trade? Do you remember?
again, well, yeah, my profit margin way down there.
Yeah. Your profit target's down there. Your stop's up top. Now you've got
Mm-hmm.
your stop in your hand and you're holding it and you're just kind of hovering over the chart to where you can click and put it where you want.
Yes. And as it's dropping, I'm going, and I went ahead and I released, because normally I will go ahead and release right there.
Yeah.
Just let it set. And as you can see, it turned around and come back up. It stopped me out.
So what kind of profit you make on that one? Let's draw that out. So you're up about 1450 at this point. And so now you're up about $2,100.
Mm-hmm.
Three trades, no losses. It's a good trading, buddy. That's 7 days worth of your initial profit. And that is over 2 times your actual daily um, profit goal of 1,000 a day. So you're up $2,100 this time, and at this time, do you go play with the dog, go out by the pool? I mean, what are you doing right now? You're
Yes.
excited.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go live. Blood's flowing. I'm high on a cloud. Yeah, sweating. I got to back away from a minute.
And this right here keeps the job away.
Yes.
How many people do you know make $2,100 in a day? How many people? I mean, I don't know a lot of people make it, other than some traders and maybe some just filthy rich people. But for the most part, $2,100 is unattainable for most people.
Right.
So you're up $2,100, and at this point, we're what you've been trading for less than an hour. You're up $2,100, and I mean you could call it a day. Actually, before this trade even took place, you could call it a day, and been a very good day. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So this time, where are you right now? You just in Discord bragging about it because we know how you like to post those numbers.
Oh yeah. I got to throw those in days. Add a little bit more today. Add a little bit more. There's a little bit more to the account.
Yeah. Now
Got to
see,
review guys.
in like today's 211 was the last time you posted, and today your realized profit is $2,816.16 is what you posted last. Now, I don't post my profits until I'm done for the day, and now I mean people see the profits I've posted on there and stuff, and it's pretty good, but I have to take a back seat to you the other day. You beat me on profits. You got me, and that's not something people do in there usually. So I was really, really happy, and that's when we started talking about doing this video because a lot of people have been asking, "How you doing at Fish?" They think that you're trading, 10, 20 contracts or something. You're not.
No.
So you're trading this one contract bandit, one CB. That's his nickname. And so we're going in here. We're doing these trades. Right now, you're up $2,100. Losses. Do you ever have a loss?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Of course you do. And what do you do when you take a loss?
Um, I, at first takes you back a second.
Do you
But
review
then
the trade to see what you did wrong, or
yes, yes. And if I still feel strongly, in the chart, then I will re-enter because I know, it just come down, it stopped you out. But if I feel strong enough in the trade, I will get back in.
now I know you had some losses today. Do you happen to remember where they were? Just one of them is fine.
Um, it wasn't too long after we started our phone conversation at first.
So where
Um,
was that? Show us on the chart. Do you see if you remember?
let's
So let's
see.
just show what a loss looks like.
Right after this trade is when I started, playing around with the other bots and stuff. So I went ahead and
Right.
stopped. So
Because everybody has losing trades.
Yes.
Some days I have way too many commissions, and it's because of losing trades.
Yep. It was actually right here.
So you took that short and it just reversed on you.
Now, actually, I took this long.
Okay, gotcha.
hmm Yes, and the reason that I took this long is because of this run up right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then after it come down, look, we had this little support going across here. We had several candles that couldn't push below. Then when it come up right here, I brought my buy right at this level, and as you see, I got stopped out.
Okay. Let me show you something that might have helped you on that.
Okay.
And if you
Yeah, I
come
ended
back over here,
up
you
$300 right.
you already know what I'm going to show you.
Oh yes,
But sometimes you forget about that lower high.
exactly.
Because if you look at this one right here, so if we go in right here, to where you can see it all the way across, right there. So we actually did make that lower high. And usually when we do, it might pull back a little bit. But when it does, it will usually come down. So right here would have been the short to get in. But
Yes.
when you're trading, you don't, you have in your mind that it's getting ready to do what this is doing here, and you don't
hmm
want to miss it. So playing this long right here, in my opinion, was not a bad trade. I mean, it lost, but I don't
Right.
think it was a bad trade. And the reason I don't is because we're playing in this zone, and you'll get chop, and sometimes the market makers will move us down just to grab stops and then run. So I really don't think that was a bad trade. I still think it was a good trade, even though it lost. So sorry for your loss on that one, but that was a good trade. So when you have that bad trade, you go back and you look and you see what's going on. And if you look right here, you can also see this one right here. Now you don't know this until after it's over.
Right.
But if you draw this out, everything just kind of lines up with this channel. So you start looking for a channel to find out, well, why did I lose there? What am I not seeing? So then you look at your lower highs and lower lows and stuff and try to figure out what's actually going on. And then now you've got this line right, or um, the candles pushing up. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. The candles push resistance right here. So now you can actually draw that in and bring it all the way over. Now, when you're trading, this is all you can see. So whenever you do that, and then it comes down and touches this one, now you're building this channel. So when this pushed up to here, that would let you know to go short here. So that may be, well, kind of help you out. And you've had the charting course. You know the charting. You know how to do this. So the channel would actually help you know kind of where it's going. And then, on this one right here, when it pushed up and we still didn't break it, then that would allow you to go ahead and get your short here. Did you take that one by chance?
No, I did not.
Okay. You would have made money, but it wouldn't have went all the way down to your zone, but you would have made a little bit. So did you take this long?
Let's see.
You played with the bots a lot today, so I know that you didn't fully trade all day.
Yeah. I didn't get a full day of trading in. Let's see, because we started this about 2:30,
Um,
uh,
so we've been on here for 40 minutes.
40 minutes. So
So
it been,
yeah, about 2:30.
let's see, because I know I didn't do a full trade on the last one, but yeah, it I may.
You don't remember what you did there? I mean, you trade a lot and you've done a lot, so it's hard to remember everything.
Yeah, and I may have taken this long because I knew that I didn't get a full run all the way, from my
Right.
level. So yeah, it was probably this one right here, and I was just chasing it with my stop.
So if you take the Ranger and that's given all your levels and everything, I mean, it's obviously working because you can see them. And you've got the mover, and the mover helps you find the direction that you need to go. Although you don't always adhere to the mover, you really, Ranger is your main indicator that you're using to make your trades. Um,
Yes, absolutely.
and then the mover, you told me last week, I think it was last week, of how you when you get like this one, say right. Let's see. Let me find one. This one here. So you would end up taking a short sometimes off of here. I don't know if you did today, but you would take a short here, and you told me. So let me. I'll just make another one. I don't know what happened to him. Um, this was something I thought was very good that you do, and it stuck to me, and I kind of watched it a little more. Oops, I cannot get that. That's close enough. So you told me that let's say you took a short right here, and then when this comes down and your mover is here, because you do play against the mover when you see the zones. I know you do.
Yes,
You told me that when this pushed down and got below that mover, you would grab that mover and put your stop right on top of it.
absolutely. And as the mover moves down with that, in my direction, I will chase it along the top of it.
So on this one here, when this candle closes and opens here, where would you walk me down this? Show me where you would be.
Okay. Yeah. As that comes down, like you said, when that pushes through,
Yeah, I mean you would have got stopped out there, but let's just pretend you never.
right. And as it comes down, I would just ride that along the mover. Now on this candle right here, I would have probably, brought it halfway down the candle.
Gotcha.
Brought it below the mover.
So
But
you're protecting profit as you go. It doesn't matter if you hit the target that you want as long as you make money.
yes, yes. I mean, I'd love for it, to get, to zone every time. But yes, I'm constantly protecting profit.
Well, if you had left your stop at the top, you would have lost money and trying to play to
Yes,
the zone. So protecting your profit is one of the most important things you could ever do. When you're a scalper, now you're a scalper, and by scalping, you're trying to take as much as you can as quick as you can, and that will sometimes cause you from making more, but you're making money, and as long as you're making money, then you're ahead of the game.
hmm
So let's take so we've talked about that, and now let's talk about this one here. Now, just out of curiosity, would you have taken this short here?
no,
Okay, because we're in an uptrend and the mover and
that's
everything.
correct.
Yeah, I
That's
agree
correct.
with you. And by honesty, you would have made a little bit of money here, but look what it did. It may not have come down to here. It might have just been little ones like this. It might have just come down to here and then got up, and it's not really worth the gamble of doing it. Just trade with the trend. So right here would have been your entry. Is that
Would say
right?
yes.
Okay,
hmm
so we would have entered here, and you would have hit that zone. Once that pushed through, you would have got stopped out right here because you would have been at the bottom of the zone. And
Correct.
then you would, when this pushed up into here, would you have taken a short here?
No,
Okay,
no, I'm
because
in too much uptrend.
right. So now that we're in this uptrend, you just kind of stay in. Would you ever consider? I don't know why it's still moving. Would you ever consider just getting in here and just riding this all the way out?
Not as a scalper, no.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm the same way. It's hard for me to be up $1,000 only for it to come down to where you're up, $200. I want that $800. I would rather
No.
hop in somewhere else and get it.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to risk my profit that I've already got.
Well, I tell you what, I'm very, very, very proud of you. I think you've done an excellent job. You actually scalp it different than what I even teach, but the way you do it does a really good job, and I think a lot of people can benefit from this. It has actually made me scalp today using this strategy. I did a little bit yesterday, just a couple of trades, just kind of watching it, and this is something that I wanted to bring out to our other Discord members, YouTube, and things like that, in order for people can see this. They can see that the purchase of the Ranger is not that much. It's $7.99 on the website. If you buy the mover and the Ranger, you get 10% off the total ticket, so you can save some money. But by doing the Ranger and the mover together, a lot of us are on the Ranger and Shaker. The Shaker does a great job, but you don't trade the Shaker. I know that sometimes you have it on the screen, but you really don't trade it because you're you're a mover and ranger scalper. That's how you do it. And
That's correct.
I think it's great. I think the money that you're making is incredible, especially I don't know too many people can make $7,000 on one contract. I mean, that is just incredible. I can't wait to hear or actually see you start trading two, three, four, five, 10 contracts because you're going to be just insane. I mean, it's just going to be incredible. I can't wait. Um, the $300 guy a day is now, you know, close to what, $7,000 a day at times. I mean, not every day. I can't wait to hear that it's $70,000. That's what I want to see, and
Wow.
and that's going to be in time. And maybe it never happens, but I think your confidence level's up there. You've taken an account, a very small account. I won't say how much, but it was a very small account, and you've turned it into um, I don't even know the percentage, but I mean it's way up there. I mean in a month's time, you just blew it out of the water, and that's what's got everybody talking because you made more in a month than a lot of people make all year, just by doing the one contract at a time, not getting greedy, taking your profits, not being afraid to take $50 profit, not being afraid to take a $50 loss, or a $300 loss. I mean, you're truly a scalper. I'm very proud of you for it.
Thank you.
And so, is there anything you want to add to what you? Oh, one thing I wanted to add to that. Um, it was a small amount of money. Well, you actually put quite a bit of money in the beginning, and you lost a lot of it. And then
Yes, I did.
you got down to a certain point, and you told me that you was going to pull money out of another account and put it in there, and I begged you not to. I said you don't need it. I said just do
That's
one
correct.
contract, and that's where it started. I said take that money. You got more than enough money to do one contract. Get your strategy, follow it, don't break the rules, and trade it. And that's what you've done, and you've turned it into just I guess it's I'll probably what close to 15 times of the amount that you had in there in a month's time, and I think that's just
Yeah.
incredible. So, what you want to add anything to this? Any advice to anybody, or
Um, just for people, when you lose, don't get frustrated. Take a step back. Maybe take a break for a day. Go to micros. Um, get your strategy straight in, but don't quit. Keep going. No, as Brad said, Lord, I've been it to him, and he's heard me say that I can't do this anymore. I got to quit. I'm going to lose it all just to turn around again. The only reason it was my own fault of not following the rules. You have to have the rules. You have to follow them, not just know them. You have to follow them, but stay consistent and adapt to different things. And good luck.
that's good. One other thing that I was going to mention, and while you were talking, I got enthralled with what you were saying, and I forgot it. It was oh, once you hit your goal of $1,000. One thing that you and I talk, and we talk a lot. We're good friends, and we talk daily for hours. Yesterday was 5 hours just weeding out stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
but the one thing that I told you that you should do is when you hit your profit goal, because there's times in the beginning you would hit your $1,000 and then turn right around and lose 2 grand,
Yes.
and you lost $3,000 that day. And I mean it was just because you get frustrated, and then all of a sudden then you get revenge trading and things like that. And you can't do that. So what we discussed to help out is once you hit your goal of 1,000, that don't mean you have to stop, but set your loss at $500 at that point. So at least you walk away with a day of more than what you originally wanted of 300. So now you're going to walk away with 500, and that way you can have those. You can still build that account and make $7,000 in a day, and to keep that $500 goal. And then once you get up to say 2,000, 2,500, or whatever, you know, keep moving that $500 goal up, or a max loss, to where once you do lose a little bit, and maybe you come down maybe 600 or 700, but you're still well above your $1,000. And as long as you keep doing that, that allows you to keep on trading but it also keeps a threshold of when say you're up to $4,000. Well, that don't mean your loss is at 1,000. You want to keep it at say 3,500. You're trading one contract at a time, and trading one contract at a time, you might have a $300 loss on something, and if you do, maybe you have a second one. But if you have two losses in a row, it's a good idea that you're not trading right or the market's not moving right. Cut it out and just go ahead and back up and just say, I'm happy with what I got. Post your profits, go swim in the pool. You got a nice pool. Go swim in the pool and just chit chat with people and things like that. You don't have to trade all day long. You don't have to trade from 6 in the evening till 5 in the evening Eastern time. Go in, get your profits, and go do your life. You've got a gorgeous um, um, slingshot. We call it the Batmobile. I know that during the day, you've had a good day or whatever. Even when you have a bad day,
Oh yeah.
you will just go hop in that thing and take off, and it's just like makes your day even better. That's why you
Hmm.
trade. That's why you're doing what you do and making money is so that you can enjoy life with your family and go out to eat a nice dinner and things like that and enjoy your life. And that's what trading's about. It's not about being in front of a computer all the time. It's about enjoying your life and moving on. And I have to congratulate you. You have done an exceptional job. You have went far and above where I thought you would be, and I'm just really proud of you for what you've done.
Well, thank you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream for where we are right now. And anybody has any questions, we have a free Discord. You can always come in there. You can wring his head off in there and just talk and talk and talk. And um, Fish is definitely a team player. That's why he wasn't really wanting to do this interview, but I wanted to do one with him because of where he is and what people have seen what he does. So, but if you all have any questions or anything, let me know. You can also contact me on my website. I will pop that up here real quick. Let me get that real quick just to put it on the end. So the easiest way to get in touch with me is come right over here. You can go to the contact. You click on contact. If you fill this information out, if you want to talk to me, put your phone number, best time to contact you. I'd be more than happy to help you. What he is doing is the Ranger and Mover together. So just so you know the products that he's doing this one right here. So now this one shows cheaper because it's got me logged in. So if I go back into it, now that I'll log myself out, it's $7.99 for this one. And if you add this one to your cart, and then you come up here and you type in the mover, this is what he is using. So add that one, and then we add, there's several different movers. You want the one for Ninja Trader, and then when you add this one to the cart, and then that will bring your cost down because it will automatically discount it. When you get two, it'll do 10% off. Three is 15. That's of this video. That's what it is. This may change, but as it's this video, that's what it would be. Small price to pay for what Fish is doing. Very, very small price. You can also go into the home page, come down here. If you're not a customer already, fill this out. Anytime we do webinars or anything, you'll get an email to let you know when they are and help you out. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I appreciate everybody watching. Again, more than happy to, or more than welcome to join our Discord and get plugged in. And I'll talk to y'all later.